All right, while this is all going on, obviously today there's been the Chancellor of Germany that was at the White House today, but in the background, and even since really yesterday, I would say maybe since this beginning of the week, when Elon Musk left the Oval Office, there were a lot of questions, I think, from a lot of people as to why. And he spoke about it being a special government employee, only having 100 plus days to be there, and obviously DOGE's mission. But I think things, a lot of people saw things going sideways when this big, beautiful bill was discussed. And then really, I guess, the discrepancy between what DOGE really wanted to do with the federal government and literally, I guess, a debt ceiling being raised to more than $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which Elon has been very vocal about, and not just him. There's been Senator Rand Paul and others that have really criticized this bill, but even Musk calling it an abomination yesterday and tweeting it out. And so there's a discussion going on in the background on X that has been going on for the last 24, 48 hours, where Elon and the president have really lashed out at each other. These are some of these tweets, or I shouldn't say tweets anymore because it's not Twitter, it's X, but some of these messages that have been posted on X. And obviously, we've seen before, even earlier today in the press conference with the chancellor, that the president called Musk crazy, suggested that he might even target some of Tesla CEO's government contracts in some respects, which we know SpaceX is involved in. The Boring Company has some contracts as well. XAI he owns, and even Neuralink. So there's been multiple contracts that have come under controversy, you might say, because of how they're linked to the government. But just an interesting feud that really has rapidly ramped up in some respects. So you can see the messages on X for yourself if you'd like right now. There's not just these, there are a number of others, and it seems to be getting nastier by the minute. So I don't necessarily want to spend too much time on the discussion on X, just because there's a lot more going on in the world in terms of, right, this big, beautiful bill, what it could do for America. And this, is obviously something that's going on in the background. But we did want to play some of the comments from the earlier press conference with the German chancellor and kind of what was said and where some of this is being fueled from. We'll go to it now.
Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill. What's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles. And they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, he recommended somebody from that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA. And I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat. And I say, look, we won. We get certain privileges, and one of the privileges, we don't have to appoint a Democrat. NASA is very important. We have great people. General Kane is going to be picking somebody with our. We'll be checking him out, seeing. But he wanted that person, a certain person, and we said no. And I can understand why he's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk, and even with the black eye, I said, "Do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup." But he said, "No, I don't think so," which is interesting. and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best things. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it. Business is spurred. And I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but the numbers came out. Even the CBO, which is run by Democrats, said that we're going to be doing, I'd like you to discuss it, the 2.8 trillion, that CBO. This is a group of people that are Democrats. They're very hostile to us. They just came out with phenomenal numbers, what it does. You want to mention that, Scott?
Yes, sir. So what we've seen is we keep hearing from the CBO that there's going to be...
And I don't want to devalue what these comments are doing to some of the stock price indicators, especially to Tesla's share price today. It already was trading sharply lower, but my goodness, it's tanked after the president's latest comments. So this has true ramifications for a lot of people's money, for Musk's money, obviously, and it will be interesting to see how this plays out because the president has really doubled down on the fact that he wants this bill to pass as is. And like I said, there have been numerous indications from both the House and even the Senate that certain folks aren't happy with it. We even saw representatives saying, I didn't read certain pages of it, so I didn't know this was in it. So some interesting times in Washington, D.C. and really beyond.